For me, I could have gotten into any university. I did really well in high school, but I chose to come to York for two primary reasons. I grew up in Toronto and I knew that ultimately I would want to stay in Toronto. To know that whatever was happening around the world in terms of trends, thoughts, movements, all of those things were in Toronto, and because they were in Toronto, they were at York. To me, what appealed to me is the idea that innovation, out-of-the-box thinking, and I thought that York was a perfect place, and it turned out to be true. The interesting piece was meeting so many different people with different perspectives that they could back up from an intellectual perspective was something that for me I really enjoyed. I enjoyed class, but I enjoyed sitting around the Student Center and having discussions with other people, and in the Scott Religious Center and all the other places where students congregate and the other part of learning takes place. I had a lot of involvement on campus, and one of the cool things as well for me was just the structure of the university setting, and that it closely resembled what you would see in a country state almost, because you'd have the student government perspective, you'd have the college system, you'd have the clubs that were an active part of the tapestry of the campus. And so all of those things playing together, being president of YFS, certainly opened my eyes to many different things that I really came to do on a regular basis as a sports and entertainment lawyer now in my practice in Toronto. So I do work internationally in the US and in Europe and in Asia. And so I'm comfortable meeting with my clients, understanding them from where they're coming from. And I think in large part, it has to do with me growing up in Toronto, and I think all of that coalesced with me coming to York University. But more importantly though, finding my own voice in those conversations, knowing that those are backed up by real life experience with the strong academic credentials that came from a grounded university education. The truth of it is that as a student I was very active here, but I took a step towards a university and engaged it. And there were fantastic people all the way through the administration, the academic side, the staff side, that all played a really important part in me growing and becoming a global citizen. I think for me coming to York was about being on an international stage and not being afraid to engage other people, and it was a perfect fit for me. And for the work that I do now with entertainers and athletes and musicians all over the world, I've never felt a disadvantage. I felt always empowered because of my experiences that were shaped on this campus.